The Cavaliers are NBA champions.
The drought is over. The curse destroyed.
The Golden State Warriors have won back-to-back NBA championships, and they have won 3 of the last 4 NBA titles.
With the 8th pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, with the 5th pick in the 2019 NBA Draft, with the 3rd pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select, the Cleveland Cavaliers select, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Colin Sexton from the University of Alabama, Darius Garland from Vanderbilt University, Evan Mobley from the University of Southern California.
And Markman came down on his ankle, man. Looks like it was really
Ricky.
And the news, not good for Cleveland. He left yesterday's game with what was then reported as a bruised quad.
17 as the Cavaliers have clinched a playoff berth for the first time since the 17-18 season.
Jarrett, it's official. The Cavs have clinched a playoff berth for the first time since 17-18. How does that sound?
It's the summer of 2018. The Golden State Warriors just swept the Cavs in the NBA Finals. LeBron's contract was set to expire by the end of the 2018 season. LeBron turned down his 4-year contract extension with the Cavs, worth $120 million. Things aren't looking great for Cavs fans. If LeBron turned down the deal to stay in Cleveland, that means there's a very high chance that Cavs fans will unfortunately have to see LeBron James in a different jersey next year. As LeBron turns down his contract extension, curiosity starts to arouse. Where will he be taking his talents to? Well, during early July of 2018, LeBron James officially signed with the Los Angeles Lakers as a free agent. This officially means that the Cavs were screwed for the next couple of years. This officially starts the rebuild of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Prior to this situation, LeBron James was the team. Without the king, what is this team gonna do? The Cavs need to find a new identity of the team that's not LeBron James. Well, at least the Cavs had a top 8 draft pick. During the 2018 draft, the Cavs selected Colin Sexton as the 8th overall pick from Alabama. Colin Sexton was a quick and explosive guard that was great at creating his own shot. With the absence of LeBron James, the Cavs needed a player that could create offense, and Colin Sexton looks like he could do just that. The 2018-19 season for the Cavs was a rough one. It started off with Tyronn Lue getting fired after starting the season 0-6 with the Cavs. The Cavs needed a change in coaching, so they signed Larry Drew as their new head coach. The Cavs finished as the second worst team in the East, with a record of 19-63. In terms of their players, the pieces were still developing for this team. No one on this team averaged more than 17 points. Their highest leading scorer was actually Kevin Love with exactly 17 points a game, and Jordan Clarkson coming off the bench averaging 16.8 points. Colin Sexton followed him up with 16.7 points a game. Even Cedi Osman had a solid season. He looked pretty comfortable with his new starting role, averaging 13 points a game. Sexton's rookie season did show promise for the rebuilding Cavs, however. Colin Sexton was known as a high-volume scorer in college, and he brought that to the league with him. Although an area of concern for him was his shooting efficiency, he was taking over 14 shots a game, but was only shooting 43% from the field. The Cavs this season were in obvious rebuild mode. The 2019 and 20 season for the Cavs wasn't much better. In fact, it wasn't even better. The Cavs in 2020 finished with a record of 19-46, the same amount of wins the team racked up last year, but the season was shortened because of the pandemic, so technically the Cavs had an improved season, but not by much. Prior to this season, the Cavs drafted Darius Garland as the 5th pick in the 2019 NBA Draft. Garland, just like Sexton, is a smaller guard with tremendous quickness. Garland is also a really solid ball handler and playmaker. However, Darius Garland's rookie season wasn't as great as people expected. He averaged 12 points a game on 40% shooting from the field and 35% from 3. In terms of the rest of the team, Colin Sexton was improving his game. He averaged over 20 points a game this year on way more efficient splits. Kevin Love was once again putting up about 17 points a game. On February 19, 2020, head coach John Beelan resigned as head coach, and coach J.B. Bickerstaff was announced as the new head coach. Coach Bickerstaff had a little bit of experience with a year in Houston and 2 in Memphis as head coach opportunities, but Cleveland is where he eventually found his home. Things were still in the making for Cleveland. Hopefully the combination of young talent and veteran leadership would do the trick. The 2020 and 21 NBA season was once again a struggle for Cleveland. They finished with a record of 22-50, showing slight improvement over the last 2 seasons. Prior to the season, the Cavs drafted Isaac Okoro with the 5th overall pick. Isaac Okoro was there to fill in defensive abilities. Although his scoring abilities weren't great, he was able to play lockdown defense on multiple positions, which the Cavs needed, being 29th of 30 in defensive rating. The dynamic backcourt duo of Sexton and Garland were slowly improving. Colin Sexton bumped up his point averages to 24 points a game from 20 last season, and Darius Garland bumped up his point average up to 17 points a game from 13 the prior season. During the middle of the season, the Cavs acquired bigman Jarrett Allen from the Nets from a 4-way trade. This move would prove to be productive, putting a young and upcoming bigman around 2 young and upcoming guards in Garland and Sexton. This young core still had a lot of growing to do if they wanted to contend for a championship. The Cleveland Cavaliers made huge improvements in the 2021 and 22 season. They finished with a record of 44-38, a 22-win improvement from the last season. This season was another key moment of growth for the young core. Prior to this season, the Cavs drafted bigman Evan Mobley as the 3rd overall pick. Mobley would pair up with Jarrett Allen as Cleveland's frontcourt duo. Mobley got drafted for his elite rim protecting abilities and rebounding instincts. Him and Jarrett Allen down low would be scary for any opposing offense. In terms of the rest of the team, Darius Garland was continuing to show improvements in his game, stepping up his points per game to 21.7. Jarrett Allen, who we were just talking about, averaged 16 and 10 on any given night, despite dealing with injuries such as a fractured finger. Speaking of injuries, Jarrett Allen wasn't the only player dealing with them. Colin Sexton only played 11 games this season due to a torn meniscus. Ricky Rubio only played 34 games from a torn ACL. Overall, the team was just going through a lot of smaller injuries that were putting players in and out of the rotation. The Cavs, however, got a crucial role player in Karis LeVert from Indiana, who was averaging over 18 points a game there. The Cavs, with a 44-38 record, were good enough to play in the play-in tournament, but due to the team dealing with injuries at this time and a Trae Young explosion against the Hawks, the team lost 2 games in a row, meaning they didn't qualify for the NBA playoffs. And now we're here at the current day. This current 2023 season is where things have all come together for Cleveland. This season is really the revival of Cleveland basketball. It started off with a curveball no one expected. On September 3rd, 2022, the Cavs traded away the point guard they spent the last few years trying to develop. They traded away Colin Sexton and Lauri Markkanen away to the Jazz in return for Donovan Mitchell. It was really a win-win for both teams. The Jazz got rid of Donovan Mitchell, who was requesting a trade away from Utah, and the Cavs got more value player for player. Not only did Cleveland pick up a star guard to help them get to the playoffs, but they got rid of Colin Sexton, who had troubles playmaking for his teammates. With Darius Garland being the new starting point guard, his teammates were more involved with the offense because of Garland's better playmaking skills and his willingness to give up the ball. The Cavs had a hot start to the season, going 8-1 on their first 9 games. During this point, they were the 2 seed, only behind the Milwaukee Bucks. The Cavs had a very successful season this year. They finished with a record of 51-31. Donovan Mitchell had a great season, averaging 28 points a game, coupled with a very exciting 71-point game. Darius Garland stepped up this season, averaging 21 points a game. The frontcourt duo in Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen also had a great season. Combined, this duo averaged 30 points, 19 rebounds, and 3 blocks a game. The Cleveland Cavs, for the first time since LeBron James was on this team, clinched a spot in the playoffs as the 4 seed. The last time the Cavs were in the playoffs, they got swept by the Warriors in the finals. Although the Cavs will most likely not do anything groundbreaking in the playoffs this year, it'll be a good year of playoff experience for this young squad. Although, if we're being honest, the Cavs will most likely lose to the Bucks in the second round in this year's playoffs, but it'll give the Cavs a good chance of experiencing playoff basketball and to learn how to handle a powerhouse team like the Bucks. This year's most likely failure in the playoffs because of a lack of postseason experience will set them up to be successful in the next coming years, where they'll have a decent shot at winning a championship. To really conclude here, the Cleveland Cavs rebuild from 2018 to 2023 is one of the shortest successful rebuilds we've seen in a while. We've seen plenty of teams take several years and even decades to get to a team even close to what the Cavs have now. This is most rebuilding teams' dream scenario right here. They achieved this speedy and successful rebuild through quality draft picks, great player development, and making winning trades. What I love about the Cavs now is that they're making a name for themselves without needing a man named LeBron James. The Cleveland Cavaliers are creating a new team identity, an identity disconnected from LeBron James. This young core is trailblazing their own path, and I'm excited to see what kind of damage they can do in the future if they keep this core together. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to go bet over with our friends over at BetUS, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like these.